Hello ma'am. First is we have a problem from the topic of rational dynamics. First we have our first problem. A string wrapped around a cylindrical of mass 2 kilograms and the radius of 0.1 meters. If the string is pulled with a force of 10 newtons, what is the angular acceleration of the cylinder? So first, we're going to find the angular acceleration using this formula. T is equals to F a force times radius. Then we're going to find the resistance first. Then the I is equals to 1/2 mv squared. First is we need to find the resistance, which is the I. I is equals to 1/2. Our given is 2 kilograms. Our radius is 0.1 meters. Then our force is 10 newtons. Then we're going to input the given. The mass is 2 kilograms. Next is the radius, which is the 0.1 meters squared. Then we're going to calculate it. One half times 2 kilograms times 0.1 squared is equals to 0.01 kilogram per meter squared. I is equals to 0.01 kilogram meter squared. Next is you need to find the torque, which is the angle to get the value. 10 newtons times we're going to use the formula here. Our next is our radius, which is the 0.1. Then 10 times 0.1 is equals to 1 newton meter times meter. Now we're going to find the angular acceleration. Torque over resistance, which is our torque is 1 newton meter. Then our resistance is 0.01 kilogram meter squared. Then we're going to divide it. 1 over 0.01 is equals to 100 radians per second squared. Next is our second problem from the rational dynamics topic. A figure skater spins with their arms pulled inward, decreasing their momentum of inertia by 40%. calculate their new rate of revolution compared to their initial state. So we're going to find the new rate of revolution, and we were going to compare it to the initial state. First is we're going to use this formula from the angular momentum. I1, 1, 2, 3, 2. The given is the given to our problem is the second inertia, which is the 40%, and it is decreasing. So we're going to get the inertia I1 minus 0.40 I1 is equals to 0.60 I1. Then we're going to use it to the main formula. I1 equals to 0.60 I1 W2. Then we're going to substitute it to find the revolution. All over 0.60 I1 1 over 0.60 is equals to 1.67 times 100 is equals to 167%. That's the rate of revolution in the initial state. Next, third problem. What is the maximum speed of a car can take on unbanked circular road of a radius of 15 meters if the coefficient of static friction is 0.3? The formula that we're going to use is V max is equals to square root of static friction times gravity times radius. So the given are static friction is 0.3, gravity is 9.81 meters squared. Then our radius is 50 meters. Then we're going to input the values. V max .3 times 9.81 times 50. Then times it 0.3 times 9.81 times 50 equals to 147.15 We're not going to input the decimal. Now we're going to square it. Is equals to V max 12.12 meter per second. That's our maximum speed of the car. Next, the second topic is oscillations. A mass spring system executes simple harmonic motion. If the mass is 0.5 kilograms and the spring constant is 200 N per meter, find the frequency of the oscillation. We're going to find the frequency. The formula for the frequency is 1 over 2 pi times spring constant times mass. Sorry po. Our spring constant is 200 Newton per meter. Then the mass is 0.5 kg. Now we're going to find the spring constant and mass. We're going to calculate it. 200 Newton per meter. 0.5 is equals to 400. And we're going to square it. It's equals to 20. Now we're going to calculate it. And we're going to find the frequency. 1 times 2 pi times 20 equals to 20 over 2 pi. Then cancel. Magiging 10 over pi is equals to 10 over pi is equals to 3.18 hertz. Our frequency is 3.18 hertz. Next problem. A simple pendulum has a length of 2.5 meters. What is the period of its oscillation for small amplitudes? The given is which is only the length 2.5 meters. We're going to find the period of its oscillation. We're going to use the formula of T is equals to 2 pi. We're going to convert the spring constant and the mass. Spring constant ay magiging length and yung mass is magiging gravity. So, ang gravity natin is 9.81 meter per second squared. Now, i-input na natin. T is equals to 2 pi 2.5 over 9.81. First, calculate muna natin 2.5 over 9.81 is 0.25. Then square root 0.25, 0.5. T equals to 2 pi times 0.5. 2 pi times 0.5 is equals to, ay mali, convert na lang natin, 3.1416 times 0.5. So the torque is, the time is mali pala. Kunin pa rin natin yung 2 decimal places para magamit. 2.5 divided by 9.81 square root so magiging 0.5 or 8, then 2 times 5 times 0.5048 is equals to, our time is 3.17 seconds. Next problem. For a particle in SHM, at what position is the kinetic energy equal to the potential energy? Ano daw yung position ng kinetic energy equal to the potential energy? We're going to use the formula of KE. Energy is equals to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Then we have a KE equals to PE. The formula of E is equals to 1/2 over K A squared area. Potential energy is 1/2 K X squared. We need to find the E. E is equals to, substitute lang, P plus PE is equals to 2PE. Next, 1/2 K A squared equals 2 times 1/2 kx squared. Bale magiging Ke is equals to Pe. Then pag times lang, Bali, magkaka-cancel to. 1 half, 1. So, a squared equals 2 times x squared. A squared equals 2x squared. Cancel natin yung 2, 2. Bali, ang x squared is equals to a squared over 2. X squared equals to a squared over 2. Square root natin both sides. X is equals to a over 2. Square root of 2. So, hinahanap natin is kinetic and potential energy. So, we're going to input plus minus here, positive with the negative. Calculate. Value of A is equals to 1 over 2. 0.07071. Okay, is positive 0.7071. P is negative 0.7071. Next topic, is elasticity. Next topic is elasticity. Excuse me. A steel wire of length 2 meters and the cross-sectional area is 2 times 10 raised to negative 5 meter squared. Is stretched by a force of 1000 Newton. If Young modulus for steel is 2 times 10 raised to 11 Newton per meter squared, find the elongation of the wire. So we're going to find the Young modulus. Y is equals to the stress over strain, or F force times initial length times area times change in length. Our values are force is equals to 1000 Newton. Next, length is 2 meters. Our Y, the Young modulus is, it is given to the problem, so it is 2 times 10 raised to 11 Newton per meter squared. Area is 2 times 10 raised to negative 5 meters squared. So we're going to find the change in length. Find the elongation of the wire. So we're going to substitute. L, change in length times 1,000. Ay, wait. Change in length is equals to force times initial length times A area times Y, young modules. So we're going to input the value. Force is 1,000 Newton times the initial length 2 meters over area is 2 times 10 raised to negative 5. Y is 2 times 10 raised to 11. So change in L. I'm going to input it, the calculator. 1,000 times 2. 1,000 times 2 equals to 2,000. 2 times 10 is to negative 5 times 2 times 10 raised to 11 is equals to 4 million. 4 million 2,000 divided by 4. We're going to convert it into a product form times 10 raised to 6. (2,000) divided by 4 times 10 raised to 6, which is equals to 0.0005 meter, or 5 times 10 raised to negative 4 meter. Next problem. A copper rod of diameter 1 cm undergoes a tensile stress of 1.5 times 10 raised to 7 Newton per meter squared. What is the applied stretching force? So applied stretching force. So we're going to find the first force. So first, the formula of stress. Force is equals to stress is equals to force over area. So we're going to substitute force is equals to stress times area. So we have a diameter of 1 meter, 1 centimeter. Then the stress is 1.5 times 10 raised to 7 Newton per meter squared. Now we're going to substitute the value, we're going to input the value. We're going to convert the diameter of 1 cm into meters, 0.01 meters. So 0.01 meters times the stress is 1.5 times 10 raised to 7 equals 0.01 times 0.01 times 1.5 times raised to 7. Here's the value. We're going to find first the area. So we have a formula of area is equals to pi over pi times diameter squared over 4. Area is equal, we're going to input the value pi times 0.01 squared over 4. Our area is pi times 0.01 squared over 4 equals to 0.00007 or we're going to put it in a product form. 7.854 times 10 raised to negative 5 meter squared. Now we're going to find the force. Stress times area. Our stress is 1.5 times 10 raised to 7, then times 7.85 or times 10 is to negative 5. Force is equals to 1.5 times 10 raised to 7, 7.854 times 10 raised to negative 5 equals 1178.1. Force is equals to 1178.1 newtons. Next problem. A metal cube of side 10 centimeters is subjected to a shearing force of 5 times 10 raised to 4 Newton. If the top surface is displayed by 0.02 cm relative to the bottom, calculate the shear modulus. We're going to find the shear modulus. G is equals to shear stress over shear strain. We have a value of the area. We have a height of 10 centimeter equals 0.1 meter. Next, the area. Next is change in X. of displaced by 0 point relative to bottom. Change in x is 0.02 centimeter. Convert it into meters, 0.002 meters. Our area, 0.1 equals to 0.01 meters squared. Force over A over change in x times height. Then the force is 5 times 10 raised to 4 newtons. We're going to input the value. G is equals to 5 times 10 raised to 4 over our A is 0.01 meters squared over 0. Change in x 0.002 times 0.1 meter. So 5 times 10 raised to 4 over 0.01 equals to 5 times 10 raised to 6. 0.002 times 0.1 ay 1.0 pala. Ay, tama ba? So times 0.01 equals to 0.0000. So 5 times 10 raised to 6 over 0.002 equals to our shear modulus is equals to 2.5 times 10 raised to 11. Here's the final answer. Next topic, fluids. Water flows through a horizontal pipe of varying cross-sectional area. At one point, the cross-sectional area is 10 centimeters squared and the speed is 2 meters per second. What is the speed at a point where the cross-sectional area is 5 centimeters squared? So we have values of A is equal area 1 is equals to 10 centimeters squared. Area 2 is 5 centimeters squared. Speed is 2 meter per second. So in fluids, we have a formula of A1 P1 equals to A2 times B2. We're going to find the speed at cross-sectional area is 5 centimeter per second. So we're going to find the second speed at the second velocity. So we're going to substitute A2 cancel. So the value of the formula for velocity 2 is equals to A1 times B1 over A2. So input the value 10 centimeters squared times 2 meter per second over 5 centimeter squared. 10 times 2 over 5 is equals to 4. Our second speed, the velocity is 4 meter per second. That's the final answer. Next problem. A hydraulic lift has an input of piston area of 5 centimeters squared and an output piston of area to 250 centimeters squared. If a force of 100 Newton is applied to the input piston, what is the maximum weight that the output piston can support? So we have the values of area is equals to we have an area of 5 centimeters squared, force of 100 Newton. Our second area is 250 centimeters squared. We're going to find the force at the maximum weight. So we have a formula of F1 force 1 over A1 times force 2 over area 2. We're going to find the force 2. Substitute. Force 2 is equals to force 1 times A2 over A1. Input the value. Force 2 is equals to our F1 is 100 Newton times area 2 is 250 meter over 5. Calculate it. 100 times 250 over 5 equals to 5,000. Our force 2 is equals to 5,000 Newton. Next problem. A solid sphere of a radius 5 cm has a mass of 2 kg. Will it float or sink in water? The density of water is 1,000 kg per cubic meter. So, we have already the density of water. The density of water is equals to 1,000 kilogram cubic meter. Our radius is 5 centimeter. Convert it into meter, 0.05 meter. Our mass is 2 kilograms. we're going to find the mass of the object and compare it to the density of the water because hinahanap natin kung lulutang ba siya or lulubog. So, we have a formula of V is equals to 4 over 3 pi times r squared. Input the value pi times 0.05 cubic. So, 4 over 3 times pi times 0.05 cube is equals to, going to put it in a product form, 5.236 times 10 raised to negative 4 cubic meter. Now, we're going to use the mass, the weight of the solid sphere or the object, 2 kilograms times 2 kilograms over 5.236 times 10 raised to negative 4 is equals to 2 over 2 over 5.236 times 10 raised to negative 4, 3,819. 10.7 kilogram meter cubic meter. So we're going to compare it. The mass of the object is 3819.7. Then the mass of the water is 1000. So the object will sink. The object is greater than the mass of the density of the water. So the object is going to sink. And here's our final answer. Next topic. Question 1. A circuit has a 12 volts battery connected to the 3 resistors in series. We have a 2 ohms and 3 ohms and 5 ohms. Calculate the total current flowing through the circuit. Our next topic is electricity. So we have a formula of the Ohm's law, which is V times the resistance times R total. We're going to add up all of the omegas to find the R total. 2 plus 5 plus 3 is equals to 10 omega. 12 volts. We have a value of 12 volts. Then the series is 2 omega, 3 omega, 5 omega. We're going to find the resistance. So we're going to substitute the value. I is equals to V over R total. Input the value, 12 volts over 10 omega. Over 10 omega equals to 1.2 amperes. That's the resistance. Next problem. 2-point charges of positive 5 mc and negative 2 mc are separated by a distance of centimeter. Calculate the magnitude of the electrostatic force between them. We're going to use the formula of Coulomb's law. F is equals to K Q1 times Q2 over R squared. So we have a 5 values of 5 times 10 raised to negative raised to 6, then hindi pala siya negative, 2 times 10 raised to 16, negative 6 coulombs. We have a radius of 3 centimeter. Convert the radius into meters. 0.3 meter. R squared, we're going to square it. 0.03 squared equals 0.03 squared. So we're going to put it in a product form. 9 times 10 is to negative 4 meters worth. Our constant is 8.99 times 10 is to 9 Newton meter. So input the values. Eight 0.99 times 10. Ay, hindi kasya. Right na lang natin ito. 8.99 times 10 raised to 11 raised to 9 times Q1 is 5 times 10 raised to negative 6 times 2 times 10 raised to negative 6 all over R squared is 9 times 10 raised to negative 4. Calculate it. So here's the force Here's the magnitude of the electrostatic force. 99.89. Force is equals to 99.89 newtons. Next, a 1000 watts light bulb operates on a 220 volt supply. What is the resistance of the light bulb? So we have a formula of power equals to volts over the resistance. We're going to find the resistance. Just substitute it. R is equals to volts over P. We have a value of 220 volts squared, 220 squared, so that's to 48,400. Next, the power is 100 watts. Now input the values. R is equals to 4,848 or 48,400 squared all over power is equals to 100. R is equals to 484 omega. That's our resistance. Next topic is heat transfer. First, we have a problem of calculate the rate of heat conduction through a copper wall 2 cm thick and read a cross-sectional area of 5 meters squared. The temperature of the hot side is 150 Celsius and the cold side is 50 Celsius. The thermal conductivity of copper is 385 watts per meter. So we have a formula of Q over T is equals to K area change in T over D. We have an area of 5 meters squared. And we have change in the two temperatures, which is T1 is temperatures 150 and Celsius, and the cold side this is that cold is 50 Celsius. We have the thermal conductivity of the copper is 385 watts. per n times k. We have a radius of 2 centimeter. Convert it into meter, 0.02 meter. First, we're going to input the values. $300. First, we're going to mine A minus the hot and cold temperature. 150 minus 50 degrees Celsius is equals to 100 degrees Celsius, or K. So we're going to input the value 385 times area is 5 meters squared times 100 K. We have watts meter K. Then all over 0.02 meters. Cancel, 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 cancel. 385 times 5 times 100 over 0.02. We have 9,625,000. This is the rate of conduction through copper. Or 9.625. Next problem. A 0.5 kilogram block of aluminum is heated from 20 Celsius to 100 Celsius. If the specific heat capacity of aluminum is 900 joules kilogram volumes, how much heat is required? So, how much heat is required daw? So, I'm going to use this formula. M times C times change in temperature. We have a mass of 0.5 kilogram. Our Celsius is 900 joules kg. Change in T, 100 Celsius minus 20 Celsius is equals to 80 Celsius. Now, input the value 0.5 times 900 times 80. Q is equals to the heat required to 36,000 joules. Next, a cold storage wall is constructed of a 10 cm thick layer of concrete. K1 is equals to 1.3 watts per meter. On the outside, in the 5 cm thick layer of fiberglass insulation, K2 is equals to 0.01 watt meter. On the inside, the outer concrete surface is at 30 Celsius and the inner insulation surface is at negative 10 Celsius. Calculate the heat flux with watts per meter squared passing through this composite unit. So we have values of 10 centimeter converted into the meter, 0.1 meter. K1 is 0.3. That's meter times K. K2 0.04. That's meter times K. We have heat and the cold is negative 5 centimeters equals to 0.05. I'm going to use the formula QA change in T R total. First, we're going to find the R total. R total is equals to L1 over K1 plus L2 over K2. The R1 is the concrete and the R2 is the fiberglass. 0.1 over 1.3 is equals to 0.0769 meters squared K over fiberglass is 0.05 meters, 0.0 over 0.04 is equals to 25 meter K. So our R total ay 1.25 pala. The R total was the 0.0769 plus 1.25 equals 1.3269 meters squared. Then we're going to find the change in T. The change in temperature. 30 Celsius minus negative 10 Celsius is equals to 40 K. Last, we're going to find now we're going to input the value of the change in temperature and R total. So 40K is equals to 1A over 1.326 is equals to the heat flux is 30.15 watts meter per second. Here's the final answer. That's all. Thank you.